Hello New Zealand, and to our viewers around the world. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Happy New Year. It is very good to be back. Had a great few weeks off, although I've got to say, between Christmas and the start of this year with those thunderstorms popping up and the big downpours and localised hailstorms and flash flooding, I wasn't quite so sure if we as weather forecasters were going to get much time off. But the last week or so in particular has been very settled, and it's timely that I'm back because the weather next week goes downhill. And it's not like La Nina, not at all. And that's what we were saying last year. Don't bet all your money on La Nina because it's a moderately short one this year, and it's already probably peaking. It already probably has peaked, which means these are rainmakers up here to the north. Perhaps a less likely chance of them coming down and bringing us the rain we need. We've got a low out here at the moment. It's generating swells into the North Island. So while the weather might be beautiful and sunny under all this high pressure, these eastern beaches along here may well have dangerous rips and the odd big wave, just a little rougher because of that offshore low pressure system. So it's one of those days to take extreme care, and also going in towards Friday and even Saturday for some areas around eastern New Zealand. But La Nina is pretty quiet at the moment, and all eyes next week are going to be down in the Southern Ocean. We've got a bit of life coming back from down there, and it's going to feel more like we're in spring or autumn for a brief time next week. And it starts, in fact, as early as this coming Sunday. Let's get into the today map because the temperatures at the moment, they are above average right across most of the country. But that low I was just pointing out to you is driving in a southerly here. So the temperatures are normal. That green shading means that's just the satellite map. So it's not actually shaded at all. So temperatures around here, bang on average for this time of the year. That is a little bit La Nina-esque with that low offshore and the cooler winds coming through. But elsewhere, much warmer, and the areas in red, 4 to 8 degrees above normal, and a couple of these areas here, over 8 degrees above normal, Central Otago, for example. And as we go on towards Friday, not a great deal of change. In fact, that over 8 degree warmth, over 8 degrees above normal, around Central Otago, that expands a little bit further actually as we go through Friday, and still a little cool up here in those eastern areas. Not cold, it's just not hotter than average. It's actually normal weather at the moment, normal temperatures around Hawke's Bay and going up towards Gisborne. Here's the forecast. This is Friday's setup. So there's that low. It is pretty big, but it's not a storm, and it's driving in bigger swells. So that's why we're saying, hey, look, the weather might be beautiful in these areas, or maybe not beautiful, maybe around some parts around Mahia Peninsula, you might have a few little light showers coming through, but many other places will be settled, dry, sunny, hot inland, good day to go to the beach, right? And it is, and the surfers will be loving it, but it is a little more dangerous. There are hidden rips and bigger waves to take care or to think about with your children, or even if you're perhaps not the best swimmer yourself, just be aware that this offshore system will be driving in bigger swells and waves and rips all along that eastern side of New Zealand for another couple days. It eases on Saturday around Hawke's Bay. High pressure elsewhere, light winds, not much to talk about other than that warm weather. Into the weekend, and this is the beginning of the change. Now, Saturday's not too bad. High pressure in charge of the north, still settled. Remember, the offshore system still pushing in some dangerous rips and waves along that eastern side, but it should start to ease for you on Saturday. But waiting in the wings is this windier system and a big low down here, and in fact that low's rapidly deepening. So Saturday you'll feel those northwest winds picking up. That will lift your temperatures a little further. We get to Sunday and wow, that doesn't look like the middle of summer so much. That looks more like we're in spring or autumn. Big storm down here. The central air pressure is going to get down into the 950 hectopascal range. That is quite deep, especially for summer. And you've got these big highs, 1030. So that's a lot of air pressure gradient between those two systems there. And that is what is coming up and towards New Zealand as we get into Sunday. So there could be some wind warnings issued on Sunday. There potentially could be a rain warning issued down around Fiordland or South Westland. And the seas are going to be very dangerous along the western side and southern sides of the South Island, and the waves will be picking up around the western side of the North Island. The good news is you get a bit of wet weather on Sunday coming through for those northern areas. It's not a lot though, it's not a lot, but a little bit in there. As we kick off next week, more showers coming through, and look at this huge area of low pressure dropping down to the 950s now. Rain and showers moving up the western side of both islands. Rainfall's going to be about average, if not wetter than usual, over the next 7 days. So there's a little positive for the farmers out there and the growers who need it. And then our final map for Tuesday shows this big area of low pressure. Look at this. All these winds you see here, these are Antarctic southerlies. Antarctic southerlies in the middle of summer, coming all the way up into Hobart, into Tasmania, into the southern Tasman Sea. That means by the time we get to Wednesday in New Zealand, it's a cold day, a little wintry for some, with even some snow flurries on the Southern Alps. I mean, what else can you do? You've got to laugh. I mean, there's nothing else you can do about it. We can't stop it. So this is coming in. The positive, rain for areas that need it. A temperature drop for those who don't like the heat. Trying to think of other silver linings. And for those who like a bit of changeable weather, there we go. We've got 3 positives coming through for you. But just a bit of a heads up, there could be some isolated thunderstorms and hail, something the growers don't want to be hearing about. But when you get hot to cold in the middle of summer, that is certainly something to keep an eye on. So we'll be monitoring this. This is the big sort of story in the weather news for the next few days. And speaking of that, if you go to the Weather Watch website, and I believe Rural Weather as well, you can see the story talking about these 2 big changes. Sunday and then next Tuesday, Wednesday are the 2 sort of windy periods. So that story right there covers all of that. Really good to be back. Thank you for all the comments on Twitter and social media while we were away. They were great to get all your photos from your various trips, and some of you who still had to keep working right through. Thanks for all the feedback. This year is going to be very exciting for us. We've got a rural weather app coming out very soon, which we're not supposed to be talking about. It's a secret. Whoops. And we've got a few other exciting changes coming in the rural weather side and alerting side at Weather Watch. So stick with us across this year. It's going to be an exciting one. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow with our next update.